Good morning, pre-Q geographers. This morning we're going to be going over settlement hierarchy. It's quite an intriguing topic in the sense that, well, personally I've always found it a little bit hard to get my head around, and I've always found talking it through with someone, your teacher or a classmate or me talking you through a few bits of it makes you understand a little bit easier and makes it a bit more simple. So you did the tasks on settlement hierarchy yesterday, and thank you for doing those to sort of set this up, this screencast up. So what I've got on the screen right now is the syllabus in terms of settlement patterns and service provision. I've highlighted the bits that relate to settlement hierarchy, and as you can see there towards the end of this part of the syllabus, so that suggests that we're nearly finished settlement, which is great. As you can see, when I've first highlighted here with my cursor, give reasons for the hierarchy of settlements and services. So very soon we're going to be looking at a handout that Miss Tomlinson made for us, the trainee teacher, that really highlights reasons for hierarchy of settlements and services. So a huge thank you to her for doing that for us. Then also it says here New Zealand's urban hierarchy as well. So you need to know about New Zealand's urban hierarchy, and that sort of relates to the diagram that you would have been looking at yesterday about settlement hierarchy and about how cities are ranked and how they relate to each other, but also how they make themselves very individual to other cities as well. And then there's just a little bit more information or expanded information about settlement hierarchy down here as well that I've highlighted for you that you can have a read through. So, settlement hierarchy. Now, this is a great example of what hierarchy is. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is this diagram. A hierarchy is very much a ranking, okay, where people are placed in order of importance. Here you can see it's one of an economic relation or even political, and you can see here at the top you have the president, okay, the big man making the decisions or big person making the decisions, okay. Then you have the vice president, deputy heads, supervisors, employees down the bottom. What this also notes, and this is why it's in a triangle, guys, is that usually, and especially in settlement hierarchy, lower down you are, the more of them, okay, the higher in number, and then the higher you go, the less in number it becomes, okay. So in this case, the president is a singular person, be it male or female, vice president, deputy heads, supervisors, employees, and then as you get lower and lower, you're getting larger amounts of people involved in that area. That's for a general hierarchy. This one for an economic hierarchy in that sense, also quite political as well. If we now look at settlement, okay, just defining settlement firstly, and you guys did this also yesterday, but a settlement is a place where people establish a community that typically was once uninhabited, okay. So it's a place where something, a community is created. It usually starts with like a trading post or a marketplace, and then it can grow from there. Now, settlement hierarchy. Now, settlement hierarchy very much is based on importance of that service provided in that area. Okay, I'm not going to read completely off this all the time, but this is you can always just read through this handout as well, because I will post it on your GrammarNet page as well. But the higher up the hierarchy you are, the more population that you'll have in your settlement, and the more services you'll provide. Okay, so that place becomes more and more important to the country that it's a part of. So the more things that you have, services that you provide, okay, the more population you have, the more functions that your city serves as. When I say functions, I mean it might be a port city, it might be a main entertainment area for that country, it might be an international transport hub, it might be an economic centre for business. All of these things, it could be the political centre, so where the government is. All of those things, the more services and functions it provides, the higher up the hierarchy it goes. And you can see here when we talk about higher order services and lower order services. Higher order services, hospitals, theatres, headquarters for television, universities, large malls, all of those things are very much serve an area with a higher population and also a population that can spend more as well, spend more money as well. Low order services are your general stuff, okay? So your general stores, your dairies, your bakeries, your pharmacies, general life things that people can get by, usually not spending a lot of money at, but definitely using. Now, here we go. So, settlement hierarchy in New Zealand. In New Zealand, we've got an intriguing settlement hierarchy because Auckland is very much the primal city, okay, so the largest city by quite a way, but it's not our capital city. However, it's still seen as that top area of the capital city, okay, because it provides the most services. It has the largest population by a long way. It has all of these different functions. It's very much an international city, or as close as an international city as New Zealand can get. With that, I would also, and Ms. Tomlinson agrees as well, also put Wellington in our capital city area as well. Even though the population is completely different, you'd put Wellington there because of its political centre, because of its arts district, because of the different functions that it provides. So Wellington would be in the blue text here as like Auckland in our capital city area. Then you can see regional city with the green. We would consider these Hamilton, Christchurch and Dunedin areas. Where they are very much the key city for that region and have some sort of connection to national importance as well. Those three cities are very much part of the regional centre. Large towns, I've had a bit of a debate about this with Ms. Tomlinson, but I'd say that New Plymouth and Palmerston North are very much large towns. I wanted to put Whangarei in there myself, where I'm from, but I think I eventually edited that and put it down as a small town. But large towns are very much places that service an area where people come from areas to then get into the large town to be able to trade, buy things, be able to top up their supplies, to be able to see people, to be able to meet people, to be able to socialise, all of those things. And then small towns, so right down the bottom here, small towns in the orange, you can see we've got the Queenstown, Gisborne and Whangarei as well. Now, the one that stands out for me there is Queenstown. Now, Queenstown is an interesting one because population-wise, for locals, it's only about 23,000 people. However, in the peak of its tourism seasons, because it is an all year round destination, you can have up to an extra 45,000 people around. Okay, so what happens there, guys, is that yes, we'd consider it a small town, but it's kind of its own little ranking in terms of its hierarchy. So it's a major resort town. That's what we call it, a resort town in terms of tourism. Okay, so Queenstown is an interesting one, but Gisborne's definitely a smaller town, and so is Whangarei. Whangarei's population a little bit larger than 37,000, but it is, in terms of the services it provides, it's very narrow, and it doesn't really have a lot of a large range of services. So that's sort of a simplified version for you on settlement hierarchies. You need to know New Zealand's settlement hierarchy. Okay, you absolutely need to know that for pre-Q and to be able to comment on the different types of size of New Zealand's towns and cities and how it contributes to the classic settlement hierarchy. Awesome. So what from here, guys, and I will post this on GrammarNet as well. This handout will be in the file section, and I want you to make sure that you're getting down notes on New Zealand settlement hierarchy so you are ready if you're ever asked about it in an upcoming test or exam at the end of the year. Awesome. Thanks for your time, boys.